So right now we're going to start a new project, and the project's going to be called Test Project. We'll just hit OK. So first we're going to create a SOAP service, and we're going to wait for this to load. A screen similar to the following will pop up. Our user ID is radadmin and our password is military. Hit finish. We can exit out of the welcome page. I'll just exit out of this quick. I'll expand. All right, so first we can hit File, New, Dynamic Web Project. If we don't see it, we could hit Other and then just search for it. I'm going to name my project Test Service. Hit Next, hit Next again, and I'll generate some Web.xml. That'll finish up. We can open up the perspective as well. Close out of that. Okay, so here we go. We'll expand our test service dynamic web project. Hit Java Resources, Source. Right-click Source, hit New. And we'll say New Class. We will call this Test SOAP Service. And a package, we'll do com.militarycars. And get a finish. We can add some annotations to our service. Add stateless and add web service. It'll be test SOAP service. And we can create a method as well. So we'll just do public string, say hello. Again, a string that will say name. And we'll just simply return name. And we'll do Control-Shift-O for any imports. And we'll save. You can also make a complex object. I'll put this in the same package as well. New class. And we'll call this user. And the user will have a first and last name. You right-click the code. We can go to Source, Generate Getters and Setters, select all, hit OK. So now we have all getters and setters. That's fantastic. We'll just save that. We'll create a second method inside of our test SOAP service, and we'll pretty much copy a lot of it. We'll say select hello to user. Instead of just taking a name, we'll take in our user object. Okay. And we will return a string as well, and we'll say return get first name, add a space, get last name. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my service. I'll actually expand the services right here. Hit that little arrow. I'll right-click. I'll hit Configure JAX-WS Web Service Handlers. If missing, I'll say I want to generate it. Yes. I'll hit Finish. And boom. It's ready. So now what we're going to have to do is, my server's not started. I'll have to add it to the server. Add and remove. Add. Finish that up. Then I'll start my server. The server started now, so now we actually want to pull down our WSDL. So I'll right-click our server, and we can hit Administration and run Administration Console. I already have it open. The user ID is radadmin, password military again. So we'll just hit Login. And after it logs in, we can hit Applications. We can expand application types. Hit WebSphere Enterprise Applications. We'll then see our server in a list. We'll then see our application in a list, and we'll actually select our application. The application that we installed was called Test Service. So here we go. And from this menu, we should see, if we scroll down, an option called Publish WSDL. Publish WSDL files. We'll just click that. And we'll click again. And we can just open, or we can save. It doesn't really matter. So we'll go inside. Here are our files that we want. We'll copy them. And in Explorer, we want to go to where the project's located. Mine's in Workspace Test Project. We'll expand Test Service, then Web Content, Web.inf, and we'll make a folder called WSDL. Doesn't matter capitalized or not. You just have to remember it is case sensitive later, I think. So we just paste our files that we just got from the server here, and we go back. We can actually now specify our WSDL location. And before we actually specify that, we want to check if the files exist. And there's no WSDL folder there. So if we hit F5, we'll do a refresh, and it'll load again. And here we go. We have our test soap service.WSDL. The name I made right here might not be the best, but that's all right. Testing purposes. Test soap service.WSDL. You have to do the full path. It'll be web content / web inf / that should be good from there. Get an error. WSDL file not found. Okay. Looks like I forgot to add in WSDL at the end, so I'll just add that in. Hopefully that red goes away. If I save it, and it's still there. Probably still have the path wrong. Web content, web inf, WSDL, test soap service. If we get rid of the web content, it'll actually work. It's looking in the web content folder already, so we'll go inside the web inf and the WSDL. Okay. So now we can publish right here. And something you might want to do on your server, it's something I like. If you double click your server, you'll get a different settings. You get publish. I like to never publish automatically, so I manually have to do that. Also like to run server with resources on server, and when I shut down the workbench, I like to terminate it as well right here. It looks like we had a problem publishing, so let's figure out what's going on. We'll publish one more time. See if we get any errors. Oh, it looks like it was fine. That's why I never publish automatically. And now we can right-click our WSDL, hit Web Services. We could test with Web Service Explorer. It'll probably open up in Rad, so what we want to do is hit Window, Web Browser, and do Default System Web Browser. Web Services, test with Web Service Explorer. This will open in Firefox or Chrome, wherever your default system browser is. And here we can see this is our endpoint. If it says error, it probably won't work your service. We can do say hello, where we just pass in a simple string. We'll say hello world. Hit go. And we get our return right here on the bottom. But I'll see the source. It's simple. See, it says arg0 right here. I forgot to include at webparam. That's an annotation. If we actually include that, it would be more specific. So we're going to say hello to user. We'll do 7. Do test. Hit go. And here we go. What we expected from our Java. And that's how you make a SOAP service. What I was talking about before was at webparam value equals name. Just import it. And it's actually name equals name. Let's be user. And the WSDL wouldn't change, so what you'd have to do is you'd have to get rid of this quick, publish back on the server, then you'd have to generate the WSDL again, replace it, do an F5, and then when you ran it again, this name would be replaced when you're doing that form over there. All right, so that's everything you need to know. I hope you liked the tutorial on SOAP services.